Well, I think I grab inspiration from life, from people, from what I see, from flowers to nature, to people speaking, to their sense of style, to everything that I see. Um, my entire childhood has been in a film theater. I think I've watched films so wide-eyedly, fascinated by cinema, songs, heroines, color, clothes, everything. And I think the one good thing I did, I was not such a good student, but one thing that I did, really saved me, and still till date I love doing, is sketching. So I kind of learned painting and art, and that's something I really enjoyed. And when it came to college, it was modeling. And it's that drawing that really got me interested in clothes. And in the year 1989, when I think most of the people here were not born, I kind of, and there was no course for men in Mumbai. So I thought, what to do? How do I start my career? What should I do? And that's when I got into costumes. And because I loved films, I love narratives, I love storytelling. And then I love clothes and sketching. So that's where it all started. And inspiration was in movies from characters. But of course, when I came into movies at that time, I remember asking a producer, what's the script of this film? And he said, how dare you ask me the script? I mean, just make glamorous clothes. Up sort of glamorous kapde banaye. And so that's how I kind of started giving looks to people. Like I would say, oh, you're a girl who lives here, so you would wear these kind of clothes. And this is your sense of dressing. Because I feel all of us, like you like ivory so much, and you like black, and you like very solid looks.
Yeah, I like
you
shades.
like glamour. I like black because it makes me look thinner, I think. So so all of us have a type of likes and dislike, and the kind of clothes that we like. So that's the look that I would give in every film on my own. And slowly I started meeting directors and producers like Karan Johar, Aditya Chopra, Ram Gopal Verma, and Dharmesh Darshan, so many of them who started including me in their script narrations and telling me about their movies. And that's when I introduced styling in films, and because I was so interested in what's the hair, what's the makeup, what's the bag that you're carrying. So I think sometimes I'm interested beyond what's expected out of me.
That's absolutely amazing. Malaika, I'm gonna.
No, that's really in depth. I think you look at him, you can see, you can actually hear the passion when the man talks. You know, he's not just talking anything off his head. You can see it, you can feel it, you can actually sense it, which is what is really truly amazing about you. What I want to ask you is, there are loads of schools, fashion schools over the years that have come, that have gone, that have stuck around. Lots of kids that have graduated become professionals. What's so different about Learn from Manish Malhotra?
Well, Learn from Manish Malhotra is not just a lecture, or I'm not turning professor. I think what I'm using this opportunity to reach out to all those youngsters who probably are confused or probably cannot make up their mind on the career, because today, on their careers in fashion or style, because there's so much to do today. There's fashion merchandising, there's business of fashion, there's red carpet styling, there's fashion styling, there's couture, there's spread diffusion. There's a lot today than there was when we started. Airport styling, so much. So I think that by speaking about my experiences and speaking about my journey of 28 years in the movies, and I still am working in the films, and in fact now working with the third generation of actors, and also from Fashion Week, being on the board of Fashion Weeks, and doing so many shows across the world, I thought it was really nice way for me to reach all those people out there and speak to them, and they could imbibe a little bit from my conversations, I'll feel really good. So I'm really thankful to London School of Trends and INIFD to come to me with this project, and I love reaching out to the young mind because they have so much to do, and you guys are the hope, and I hope that some of you all imbibe from this course and do a lot more with your life that you're right now thinking about what to do.
Be the next Manish Malhotra.
Or more,
Yes.
much more. I don't know,
right?
But there's being Manish Malhotra, but I think much beyond.
Yeah, but it's very magnanimous of you to let that happen and much more. And I feel that a lot of you need to understand that, it also comes from a really large-hearted place, because a lot of, what ends up happening, and I'm going to get to this point a little later on as well with you, is that a lot of designers don't like to share their craft. And with INIFD and with LST coming together and making this special course that's called Learn from Manish Malhotra, A is the fact that, it's so short, within 52 weeks is when it happens. B, it only costs 10,000 rupees, which is you're being generous enough and open enough to like, it doesn't matter, your socioeconomic reasons, or they cannot be the reasons to hold you back from learning. And
Because for me, it was, sorry I'm interrupting you, but because for me, it was very important that we reach out to as many people as we can. So I didn't want this course to be expensive, or I didn't want it to be something that, oh my God, very few or niche, very few people can connect to it. I wanted it to connect to as many people it can.
did you ever fear sharing your craft, Manish? Because you do know that once it goes online, and everybody gets, like, at some point when they were making this course, this little course, which was, formulated around your name, did that ever come to your head that, oh my God, if I give away all my trade secrets, so to say, as harsh as it may sound, do you want to hold on to something, or you're willing to share everything that you know?
Well, I'm willing to share everything because I feel that in a creative field, craft changes, your way of looking at things should change. Keeping that whole, keeping your being, keeping your self-being and your belief, but yet it has to constantly change. Fashion changes every season. And I think that for me, I'm a learner. Even today, I mean, I'm torn between the love of movies, and I can never stop designing for films, and the business the label that I have. But I think for me, it's really important to be learning. I'm nervous backstage before every fashion show of mine. I don't take a single day and my work for granted. I wake up really early to cope up with all that work, and I'm on the head of all my assistants. Have you done this? Have you done that? So, and I think the biggest thing that I'm constantly speaking about in this conversation that I'm having, the masterclass, is to focus. Because I feel there's so much today, there's so much information out there for all of you all, and there's social media, there's internet, there's so much going on, that in this time it's very, very important to discover yourself, one, and stick by that and focus on what you're meant to do.
Well, I'm going to come back to something that that you said, that you've so much going on. You've got your label, you've got you're on the board of like a million things. You're here, there, you're styling for films. You've got your own personal life. You travel, you do shows. There are a million things that this man does. I mean, sometimes it's difficult to kind of keep track or to keep up with it. Do you really think you will have that kind of time and dedication and all of that for our kids out here? How would you going to find that time for them?
Well, to be really honest, it's not possible for me to kind of, interact every day with somebody, and it's not possible for me to go to to one of the INIFD centers, every single day, and because I have so much going on. So I thought this was the best way to do our first series, and we are touching every aspect from theater design, because I designed for Mughal-e-Azam, and we made 550 costumes.
Unbelievable, may
Yeah,
I
it
add.
was like-
Applause, guys.
So it was crazy, and
And if you haven't seen that, you have to see it purely for the styling.
And I didn't even think that, oh my God, it's going to take so much of my time. And it was something that really I learned from. And from doing movies and fashion shows and putting a collection together. So these are the aspects and the journey that I'm constantly talking about in this masterclass. And I just hope that people can use that information or hear me out and use that in their life. And I think that would really be helpful.
So we have 24 hours
hope
in
so.
our day. I don't know how many hours in your day, because sometimes it seems practically impossible how he manages to juggle all of that and more and come out completely trumps in everything.
I think the problem that I have is I'm very commitment prone. If I commit to something, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes probably I don't do a good job. Sometimes I do a good job. But I definitely put in my 200% in it.